Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. Donald Trump formally became the first former president charged with a crime today. Security was tight across Manhattan as the proceedings took place. Alexis McAdams has more.
On Tuesday, Donald Trump, now formally the first former president to ever be charged with a crime. In front of a New York City judge, he pled not guilty to more than 30 counts of business fraud-related charges. They stem from an investigation by District Attorney Alvin Bragg into alleged hush money payments made ahead of the 2016 election.
Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about. 34 false statements made to cover up other crimes.
The Secret Service joined the former president as he made his way from Trump Tower to that Manhattan criminal courthouse. Trump was processed and fingerprinted before he was escorted to that courtroom, where he learned of the charges against him. Outside, police, media, and demonstrators gathered near that building. Trump supporters labeling the case a witch hunt.
An indictment on a former president and a presidential, candidate is just a sad day in our country.
If convicted, Trump could still run for president in 2024, though some say prosecutors face an uphill legal battle.
He's trying to dress it up into a felony by invoking federal law that he doesn't have any jurisdiction to prosecute, and that's how we land in court.
Reporting in New York City, I'm Alexis McAdams, Big Fox News.
The Corning Museum of Glass is hosting a special guest this week, and you can come meet him. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg was blown away by the work he saw today.
This week, the Corning Museum of Glass is welcoming Netflix's Blown Away Season 3 winner, John Moran, for his artist residency.
And being on Blown Away was really great. It was really cool because there's so many people who take part in the show, but we all kind of knew each other. So it was a lot of fun to go there, work together with these people. Even though we're kind of competing against each other, we had this really nice kind of interaction with each other and just focused on making art rather than anything else.
Moran started as a painter at the Tyler School of Art in Philadelphia. But after taking a glass class, Moran fell in love with the community and social aspect of glass blowing.
I didn't see myself winning from the beginning. I felt like I was going to go home every episode, but I also know that I went there with the intention of if I'm going to go on, I want to try to win.
Multiple pieces of Moran's work from the show are on display at the museum.
For me, what's most important is that I stay true to myself. No matter what happens, I would do the work that I would make normally. And if that gets me through, great. And if it doesn't and I go home for that, also great.
Moran will be working in the museum's amphitheater hot shop each day this week from 10 to 4.
So many people are coming because of the show and have seen me on Netflix, and they're not coming to watch Blow Glass and say hello and everything like that. It's really cool. It's really exciting. It's something I've never experienced before.
If you can't get enough of Blown Away, later this week on April 7th and 8th, Moran will be joined by Season 3 runners-up Minnie England and John Sharvin at the Corning Museum of Glass. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Corning.
Chemung County will host a job fair later this month to fill various vacancies within the county. The opensees include the County Department of Social Services, Parks and Recreation, the Sheriff's Office, and nursing facility. The county is also looking to hire a number of seasonal employees, such as lifeguards. The job fair will be on April 27th, and participants are encouraged to bring an updated resume. Are you satisfied with the Steuben County Health Department? Well, you can share your thoughts on the health department by answering a new survey. The county is looking for input on the department's communication, planning, and more. Steuben County residents can find the survey on the county's website or Facebook page. NATO has a new border, expanding east into Russia's backyard. As a result, Moscow says it will retaliate. Mike Tobin has more from Kyiv, Ukraine.
History being made in Europe on Tuesday. Finland officially becoming the 31st member of NATO, giving the alliance more than 800 new miles of shared border with Russia as the war in Ukraine grinds on. Finland is a traditionally neutral country, but it was convinced to apply for NATO membership after the invasion last year.
War has returned to Europe, and Finland has decided to join NATO and be part of the world's most successful alliance.
The era of military non-alignment in our history has come to an end.
Moscow says it will retaliate, threatening to deploy more troops near the Finnish border. That could help the Ukrainians by diverting Russian resources and manpower from the front lines as the Ukrainian military plans a counteroffensive. Russia also stepping up its deployment of nukes to its close ally Belarus, claiming the move is a defensive reaction to NATO's expansion.
We're not threatening nuclear war. All this narrative that Russia is threatening the world with the nukes is a part of a propaganda.
Meanwhile, here in Kyiv, a group of American business and political leaders is looking ahead to the post-war rebuilding effort. It's being led by former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who told us participation by Ukraine's allies will be key to ending the threat from Russia.
That's important. This needs to be not just an American support of Ukraine, but the world standing up to Vladimir Putin.
The Pentagon is also stepping up its military aid, announcing a new package for Ukraine worth $2.6 billion. In Kyiv, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Americans are once again seeing higher prices at the pump after a move by oil producers overseas. It's, of course, an unwelcome sight as inflation remains high. Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
Drivers again are seeing a slow tick up at the gas pump after a surprise decision by OPEC to cut oil production by 1 million barrels per day starting next month. Back in October, OPEC members cut 2 million barrels of oil a day.
If OPEC stands pat with this cut, keeping it along with the cut they made last year, we could be very short going into July, August, September.
AAA shows the average price for a gallon of regular is now $3.50, up 10 cents from a month ago, but still far cheaper than this time last year.
Our focus is on the impact to the American consumer, and we've seen over the past year gas prices come down by $1.50 at the pump, crude prices come down $30 a barrel.
The move also comes as Russia says it will extend oil production cuts for the rest of the year, which will likely threaten inflation globally.
We need to get American production back up to the levels of about 13 million barrels a day, which would put our destiny in our hands rather than in the hands of regimes that are hostile to American interests.
Saudi Arabia says the surprise cuts are a precautionary move to prevent barrel prices from slipping further for oil producers, but it comes at the risk of sending U.S. inflation higher. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Walmart is transforming the way you scroll through its website. Customers will see more brands and items on the digital homepage. The new website improves images and live video and is put together to, quote, better bring Walmart's massive assortment to life. All of this comes as e-commerce has been going strong in recent years. According to government statistics, e-commerce sales were about $1 billion last year. That's almost 15% of total sales. Your complete forecast is still ahead. Plus this.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
The roller coaster of spring will continue. Good evening. As we look at the last 5 days, the temperature trend has been significant, even popping in 70 degrees for a high on Saturday. But then our outliers, they're falling into those 40s, which isn't well below average, but definitely has a chill to it at times. Now, we're going to continue this roller coaster at least as we head into our weekend forecast. Now, what's setting up here as we head into our Wednesday is that here through the overnight, we're actually going to keep a warming or even just steady temperature trend holding into the upper 40s and lower 50s. So not really much of a low as we regain a southerly wind, which is going to bring us some instability as we head into our Wednesday forecast. And instability, that is something that is needed to bring some stronger thunderstorms. So we are tracking that threat as we head into our Wednesday. Pretty much a few rounds of thunderstorms could be possible, and a few of them could be strong. But the roller coaster pushes on as warm winds in place with that southerly trend will push us back up into those 70s. But following this system, we are talking a cold front on the backside, which is still pushing some thunderstorms into our Thursday morning forecast to then allow for some quiet conditions, a little cooler to start off the end of this week and quiet trend, but there will be a warming potential there as we head into the holiday weekend. So lots of ups and downs here to still track. first starting off with talking about that thunderstorm risk. As we head into Wednesday, the strongest of the system is going to continue to occur across portions of the Midwest and into the Ohio River Valley. The end remnants of that has the potential to have that instability, though, in place here across this more of the south as well as western portions of New York, with that marginal and slight risk in place. So we're talking that thunderstorms will be pushing on through with a threat that some of them could be strong, with that marginal risk that is meaning some damaging winds potentially, and even some tornadoes that could form off these lines of storms. So as we head into Wednesday morning, quieter start to today with those warm winds, but here's those lines of storms. As we head into the afternoon and through the overnight, rumbles of thunder will be in place across the area, again bringing the potential of even some larger hail at times, as well as dealing with damaging winds and some tornadoes, and then talking about lingering showers into Thursday, as a cold front will then be departing the area, bringing a cooling potential into the end of the day Thursday through Friday. So with the winds, though, setting up into our Wednesday, the afternoon is going to be a little breezy. We're going to get wind gusts up to about 25 to 30 miles per hour, but that southerly wind is what's going to push us into those 70s and bring us that risk that there's going to be a little bit more of this unstable air mass. Those warmer temperatures, those more rich moisture values is what can fuel those stronger storms. So we'll watch that threat to come again late into the afternoon through the early evening, and then continue to talk about some rumbles of thunder and some showers to linger into early Thursday. And then temperatures will be cooling, where we will settle into lower 50s to end off the week, but then another warming trend takes hold as we step into next week with some quiet conditions for your Easter.